Most people don't make it past 85, but it's not just genetics, it's daily choices. What if I told you that small, overlooked habits determine whether you reach old age healthy or not at all? And if you like the video, remember to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. We assume that longevity is out of our control, yet research proves otherwise. Only about 25% of your lifespan is dictated by genetics. The remaining 75% is shaped by lifestyle, environment, and decisions you make every day. That means many premature deaths could have been prevented, and many people who die in their 70s or early 80s could have lived another decade or more. But here's the hard truth: most people don't take these risks seriously until it's too late. They assume they're fine until a doctor gives them bad news, or they wake up one day struggling to do simple things they once took for granted. By then, the damage is often irreversible. Take, for example, a man I read about who spent his entire life eating whatever he wanted, never exercising, and ignoring signs of stress. By 70, he was constantly exhausted, reliant on medications, and barely able to walk a few blocks without feeling winded. He wasn't suffering from one catastrophic illness, he was simply aging poorly, his body worn down by decades of neglect. Compare that to a 90-year-old woman who still goes on daily walks, cooks her own meals, and spends time with her grandchildren. The difference isn't just luck, it's the result of choices made years earlier. If you want to live not just longer, but better, you need to act now. This video will break down the most common reasons people don't make it past 85, and more importantly, what you can do to change that. Stick around to the end, because some of these may surprise you. 1. Ignoring daily movement. One of the biggest factors that determines whether you make it past 85 is movement, or lack of it. A sedentary lifestyle isn't just bad for your waistline, it literally shaves years off your life. Research shows that people who sit too much have a 50% higher risk of dying prematurely, even if they exercise occasionally. The problem is, most people don't realize they're slowly harming themselves. They work long hours at a desk, come home exhausted, and collapse onto the couch. Days turn into years, and before they know it, they've lost their mobility. A powerful story I came across was about a man who retired at 65, expecting to travel and enjoy life. But decades of sitting at work, avoiding exercise, and neglecting his body caught up with him. By 72, his knees ached constantly, his back was stiff, and stairs felt impossible. He wished he had prioritized movement earlier, because now, even though he had the time and money to explore the world, his body wouldn't let him. It doesn't take much to prevent this. Studies show that even 30 minutes of moderate exercise per day can reduce early death risk by up to 35%. This isn't about becoming a bodybuilder, it's about making movement a daily habit. Walk more. Stretch in the morning. Stand instead of sitting for hours. If you don't use your body, you'll lose it. 2. Chronic stress and neglecting mental health. Stress is a silent killer, yet most people don't take it seriously. It slowly damages your body from the inside, raising inflammation, weakening your immune system, and accelerating aging. One study found that chronic stress can shorten lifespan by nearly a decade. But the effects aren't always immediate. Stress builds over time, and many don't realize the toll it's taking until it manifests as high blood pressure, heart disease, or severe anxiety. I remember reading about a woman who worked a high-pressure job for years. She was always tired but pushed through, thinking it was normal. By the time she reached 60, she suffered from constant headaches, heart palpitations, and insomnia. Her doctor told her she had severe hypertension, and she was at high risk of a stroke. She had spent decades worrying about deadlines and responsibilities, but in the end, what did it give her? Just stress-related health problems that cut her life short. Managing stress isn't optional if you want to live long. Simple habits, deep breathing, regular breaks, prioritizing sleep, and cutting toxic relationships can dramatically reduce stress's impact. Many long-lived cultures, like those in Japan and Italy, prioritize a slow, mindful lifestyle. Their secret to longevity isn't just diet, it's also their approach to life. 3. poor diet, and underestimating nutrition. Most people assume they eat okay, but the truth is, a poor diet is one of the top causes of premature death. High sugar, processed foods wreak havoc on the body, increasing the risk of heart disease, diabetes, and cancer, all leading causes of death before 85. I once read about a man in his 70s who had spent years eating fast food and drinking soda. His health problems piled up. First it was prediabetes, then full-blown diabetes, then a heart condition. He once told his doctor, "I wish someone had told me how much my diet would affect me later." But here's the problem, most people do know. They just assume they have time to fix it later. The best diets for longevity, like the Mediterranean diet or plant-based eating, are full of whole foods, healthy fats, and fiber. People in blue zones, places where people commonly live past 100, eat mostly plants, very little sugar, and almost no processed food. If you want to live past 85, start small. Cut down on sugar. Increase fiber. Eat more whole, unprocessed foods. Your body will thank you. 4. Social isolation and loneliness. One of the most overlooked factors in early mortality is loneliness. In fact, studies show that social isolation increases the risk of early death as much as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. A heartbreaking story I came across was about an elderly man who, after his wife passed away, slowly withdrew from friends and family. He rarely left the house, and his health deteriorated quickly. What most people don't realize is that social connections aren't just emotionally beneficial, they are physically life-extending. People with strong social ties live longer, have lower stress levels, and maintain better cognitive function. That's why in longevity hotspots, elders remain deeply connected to their communities. Don't let your friendships fade. Call people, visit loved ones, join social groups. Staying socially engaged isn't just nice, it's necessary for a long life. Many people assume that if they eat somewhat healthy and move a little, they're set for a long life. But the reality is, some of the biggest threats to longevity go unnoticed until they've already done damage. It's not just about avoiding major diseases, it's about preventing the small, everyday decisions that slowly take years off your life. Let's look at 4 commonly ignored habits that silently cut life short and what you can do to reverse them. 5. Not prioritizing sleep. Most people sacrifice sleep without thinking twice, but if you want to make it past 85, this is one of the most dangerous mistakes you can make. Poor sleep isn't just about feeling tired, it's directly linked to higher risks of heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and cognitive decline. One study followed people for decades and found that those who consistently slept less than 6 hours a night had a 12% higher risk of early death compared to those who got 7 or more hours. But the scary part? Most people don't realize how much damage they're doing until it's too late. I once read about a businessman who prided himself on working late and sleeping only 5 hours a night. He told himself he'd catch up on rest when he retired. But by his mid-60s, he suffered severe memory loss and struggled with basic problem solving. His doctor told him his brain had aged decades faster than it should have, all because of chronic sleep deprivation. And if you like the video, remember to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. The fix? Prioritize 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep every night. Stick to a routine, avoid screens before bed, and don't treat rest as optional. Sleep isn't wasted time, it's how your body repairs itself for the years ahead. 6. Avoiding new challenges and learning. You can eat well and exercise, but if you're not keeping your brain sharp, you're still shortening your life. Studies show that mental stimulation is one of the most powerful tools for longevity. It helps prevent cognitive decline, dementia, and even early death. But most people stop challenging their brains as they age. They settle into routines, stop learning new things, and avoid anything that feels difficult. Over time, their mental sharpness fades, making them more vulnerable to conditions like Alzheimer's. A woman once shared how her grandfather, a former scientist, stayed sharp well into his 90s. His secret? He never stopped learning. He read books daily, took up new hobbies, and even learned to use modern technology. By contrast, many of his friends, who stopped engaging in mentally challenging activities, developed cognitive issues by their 70s and 80s. The takeaway? Keep learning. Read, solve puzzles, take up a new skill, or even learn a new language. Your brain is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it stays. 7. Living without a sense of purpose. One of the most shocking longevity factors isn't physical, it's emotional. Research shows that people who feel they have a sense of purpose live longer than those who don't. In one study of over 7,000 people, those with a strong sense of purpose had a significantly lower risk of dying early, even when controlling for physical health. Another study found that people in blue zones, regions where people commonly live past 100, often have a strong reason to wake up each day. A retired man once shared his struggle with depression after leaving his job. Without a career, he felt like he had nothing to contribute. But when he started mentoring younger professionals, his mental health improved, and he felt more alive than ever. This is why many people who retire and do nothing decline quickly. Purpose isn't about having a job, it's about having a reason to get up every morning. Whether it's family, volunteering, or creative work, find something that gives your life meaning. 8. Holding on to resentment and stressing over the past. Bitterness and regret aren't just emotional burdens, they have real physical consequences. Studies show that chronic anger and resentment can increase inflammation, weaken your immune system, and raise your risk of heart disease. A heartbreaking story I read was about a woman who held a grudge against her sister for decades. When her sister passed away unexpectedly, she was left with overwhelming regret. The stress and guilt weighed on her heavily, affecting her mental and physical health. Forgiveness isn't about letting people off the hook, it's about freeing yourself. Let go of resentment, stop dwelling on past mistakes, and focus on what's ahead. Your body and mind will be healthier for it. We've covered the biggest reasons most people don't make it past 85. Now let's talk about what you can do to change that. The goal isn't just to live longer, it's to live better. Here's your blueprint for longevity. Move every day. Even light activity can reduce your risk of premature death by up to 35%. Walk, stretch, or do anything that keeps your body active. Get quality sleep, at least 7 hours per night, to protect your brain and body. Sleep is one of the most powerful and underrated longevity tools. Manage stress. Chronic stress shaves years off your life. Learn to relax, practice mindfulness, and set boundaries to protect your well-being. Eat for longevity. Prioritize whole, plant-based foods, minimize processed junk, and stay hydrated. What you eat now determines how well you age. Stay socially connected. Loneliness is as dangerous as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Make an effort to maintain friendships and engage with others. Keep learning. Your brain needs challenges to stay strong. Read, learn new skills, and embrace lifelong curiosity. Find a purpose. Wake up every day with a reason to live. Whether it's family, a hobby, or helping others, having a sense of purpose adds years to your life. Let go of negativity. Holding on to grudges, regrets, and stress isn't just emotionally exhausting, it's physically damaging. Choose peace over resentment. The choice is yours. Many people don't realize they're cutting their lives short until it's too late. But you don't have to be one of them. Every decision you make, what you eat, how you move, how you handle stress, and how you engage with the world, determines your future. The good news? It's never too late to start. Even small changes can add years to your life and life to your years. What's one thing you're going to change after watching this? Let me know in the comments. Your future self is counting on you. And if you like the video, remember to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell.